What's up, my YouTube family? It's your boy Roberto checking in with another banging video, guys. So check this out. So right now, guys, I told you guys right now the elites are replacing leaders all over the world. We seen last year a ton of military coups, a lot of governments being overthrown, and a lot of presidents and leaders being assassinated. Why was this? Why was this happening? Well, I told you guys the elites have to have all their puppets in place when they go to form the new world order and the one world government. Anybody who goes against it must go. And those who went against it were getting kicked to the curb, whether it was death or being overthrown by their military. Now, this leads to where I'm going. The West and the elites on this, the elite people of the world wanted Vladimir Putin gone. But because he's so popular in such a big country, they had to do it a little differently. So, pushing him to go to war with Ukraine was the way to do so. Knowing that Ukraine had biolabs, they were creating viruses in there, basically getting a new form of COVID-19 brought up. But this time it was going to affect Russia. And Vladimir Putin knew this, and he was basically trying to defend his country. And I'm not saying Vladimir Putin is any good, because he's just as bad as the rest. But this is the way, this is how they use Putin's own ego and his power against him. Because they knew the only way that they can get rid of Putin is to have him overthrown by other elite political figures in the country. So what's best to do that? To make them go to war with another country and put harsh sanctions on them while using Western propaganda to control the narrative and make it look like Russia is just doing so much wrong and they're killing innocent civilians. Not to mention the United States has done everything they're accusing Russia of right now. Everything. Plus worse. So what they're trying to do right now is tarnish Mr. Putin's name and put a stranglehold on the Russian civilians, because they're the ones that's paying for this right now. Not Vladimir Putin, because he's rich. He can still get anything he wants. Not the elites. They are punishing the people of Russia. Why punish the people of Russia? Because those are the ones that can get him out of power. And then they can get a puppet in his place. So what we're seeing right now is the people of Russia being stranglehold, losing all their, their normal lives are gone. They're living just as bad as the people in Ukraine. They're just not war torn. They're technology torn. They're financially torn. They're economically torn. And they're targeting the elite billionaires, not because they're friends of Vladimir Putin, but because they know targeting them will help them back other political leaders to get Putin out of office. Because it's affecting them. Once it starts affecting them, they no longer want him in office. So their goal is to get rid of him by using all these other people besides himself. And then, I can tell you guys now, the elites of Russia are plotting already a coup to overthrow Vladimir Putin. They're already plotting a coup. Why? Why are they plotting a coup? Well, guess what? You got all the people of Russia behind you now. Because guess what? They're feeling the wrath of these sanctions. You got all the billionaire people behind you. Why? Because all their expensive things, materialistic things are being taken from them. Military officials backing you. Why? Because they're losing soldiers for a pointless war to them. So the elites of Russia are plotting to overthrow Vladimir Putin. And the West knew this from the beginning. This was their whole plan. Ukraine just had to be the guinea pig for it. Somebody had to go down. That somebody was Ukraine. But the West promised them propaganda that would make them look like heroes around the world. And that's exactly what they're getting. But at the loss of lives, thousands and thousands of lives. But this is how the elites find ways. They always make things happen. They're making one of the most powerful men in the world look crazy and look like he's struggling to hold on to power. Making him look like his decisions were poor decisions and selfish decisions. The country's paying for it. Russia is falling apart. And you got to think the Russian elites don't want their country to fall apart. They don't want to be a second world country again. They don't want to be vulnerable to war on their land again. They don't want another Germany situation, a Napoleon situation where they're fighting on their own land, their own grounds, their own turf. Because their military is weak. Their military has been sanctioned. They don't want this again. And this is why Vladimir Putin will be overthrown. Because the West wins the propaganda war because they control all the propaganda medias. Putin is doing everything. You got to think he's banned Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. I think all this stuff. I know for a fact Instagram and I believe TikTok. They banned all this stuff. People use this stuff daily. This is some people's living. This is how they make money in Russia. You just took away their livelihood to prevent them from seeing Western propaganda. And you put out your own propaganda. But your people are going against you because why would you hide what they're trying to show us if it's not real? Why are you banning all this stuff? The people don't understand things from a political standpoint. They don't understand, even if Vladimir Putin is trying to do them any good. They don't understand that. Only thing they understand is we have a president who went to war, and now our country went from a great country to a terrible country. Our rubble is worth nothing. We can't use Apple Pay anymore. We can't do a lot of things. People are losing jobs because Western businesses like McDonald's and stuff like that are shutting down. Political leaders are being sanctioned because people are Western leaders even knowing they didn't support Putin's war efforts, they're still sanctioning them to help back a military coup without backing it. The billionaires losing a lot too. So guess what? They're going to put their money in and push behind these other leaders to overthrow Vladimir Putin or find a way to remove him from power. Whether it's a military coup, whether it's them having a vote to vote him out of office, or any other way. There are 1,000 ways to get him out of office. And what we're seeing right now is the fall of Vladimir Putin. A military coup, being removed from power. Something is going to happen because he's losing Western propaganda. And this is all so the West can put a puppet in Russia that backs the West. So when that new world order comes in effect, they don't have to worry about any opposition or anybody going against them. They found a way to destroy Vladimir Putin and they got the whole world against him. They're going to have him to where he can't even leave his own country. And I won't be surprised if we see war in Russia soon. And before it even gets to a nuclear war, we may see him get overthrown. Or he may start World War III, and it may happen in the midst of World War III. All these world leaders work together. They're all, they stage everything together. But every now and then, there's at least a few out the bunch. There's 194 countries. I'm not sure if it's 194. I'm making a wild guess, or 192. At least 10 to 15 of those leaders are not following the world's stage agenda. They're not. But when it's a powerful superpower like Russia or China or France or Britain or United States or Canada, then we have an issue. Then we have a big issue. You can't just assassinate them like any other president. You got to find ways around it. And that's exactly what the West did. We are seeing the fall of Vladimir Putin. And eventually, an opposition leader will come up. And they will overthrow him. Because this is part of the plan. And that means we're just going to be one step closer to a new world order. New world order. Western propaganda and Western elites are on a whole nother level. Biolabs with contagious diseases sitting in Ukraine ready to be released. But nobody cares because of Western propaganda and the denial of it by the Western countries. United States at that. We are about to see the fall of the Russian Empire once again. We are about to see the fall of Vladimir Putin. Think about it. There's already been videos surfacing saying that some of his opposition leaders are planning ways to remove him from power already. How true is it? I don't know how true it is. But this is coming from Ukrainian intelligence. So far, intelligence has been very good from every country so far, especially the United States intelligence. There's people deep inside of Russia's elites that are reaching out to Western countries and letting them know what's the plan and what's going on to avoid complete and total war or the destruction of Russia. Sanctions have already battered Russia. Vladimir Putin may have been doing the right thing for his country, but that's not how they see it, because he lost the propaganda war, and now his country is on the decline. And the only thing he has left in his arsenal to try to win this battle is nuclear war. The world doesn't want that. The world does not want that. But guys, we'll see how this plays out. And if Vladimir Putin is overthrown or removed from power, remember where you heard it at first. Roberto Conspiracy File. Thanks for everybody supporting my Patreon, man. And I hope y'all enjoyed the video. But I got a lot more from where this came from. This is only the start. I got a lot more to expose. A lot more.